Hi, today I want to answer a question that I read almost daily on reusable nappies, Facebook groups, or baby centre, rather than net mums, all the forums that mums usually use to ask questions. So the question is, seems at first a really simple question, but the answer is not. So this is what most mums usually ask when they're curious about starting using cloth nappies. They always start with, hello, my name is, and I've got a baby. Baby is 2 months old. That's how much she weighs. What do you recommend? What's the best brand? And then everyone replies to that request for help, just stating what's their personal favourite brand that they used on their kids. Obviously, that's all done good faith, and whilst it can be of great help, getting a list of recommended brands that are out there on the market, I actually personally don't think you can take what your friend has used, or you can take what someone very hopefully is suggesting on the internet as at face value. And that's because what's the best nappy for your baby is the best nappy that is specific to your baby's needs. So it's very hard, if someone even just asks me, it's very hard for me to recommend, oh yeah, you'll definitely love that brand, you definitely love Y brand as opposed to the X brand. So even if I've got a variety of brands, I don't think you'll be able to tell straight away which ones will be your favourite. So I hear you saying, so what should I do? I'm really curious about cloth nappies. I'd like to start. Can you recommend me something? And how many nappies do I need? So what we could do, we could talk about a few options that more or less work for the majority. So if you're starting from scratch, so say if you're starting from day one and you want a cloth nappy from day one, then my suggestion is always, have you looked at a cloth nappy library close by to where you live? Cloth Nappy Library is a great resource that you should be using if you have one nearby, and that's because you can rent a kit, you can rent a few nappies for not a lot of money. You can help a great cause because they people running Cloth Nappy Libraries actually do a lot of knowledge sharing, and they've really helped sharing the message that cloth nappies are good and you should try them out. So that should be your first port of call. In case you haven't got a cloth nappy library nearby, or you're really unable to attend a cloth nappy meeting, then your second best should be looking for a rental kit that you can get posted to you. So there's a map that you can access online, which show all the cloth nappy libraries in the UK that do postal rents. That's another resource that you can tap in. And again, you're not going to spend a lot of money, but it gives you the opportunity to trial a few different brands on your baby. Every baby is different, and this is why it is very complicated for someone to just start in and say, oh yeah, definitely use that brand. It worked fine for me. You're going to love it. If it was that easy, then we wouldn't be here, would we? Club nappy libraries wouldn't be there. There wouldn't be any nappy demos. There wouldn't be the trial and error, which is part and parcel of getting into cloth nappies. So what can you do? I hear you saying you've got your voucher maybe from your council. You're ready to spend. My first advice would be pre-folds, and that's because you will always find a way to utilize pre-folds. So when babies are tiny, when their legs haven't fattened up, then you can use them as a fitted nappy. So you just fold them in different ways and then use a nappy nipper just to close them together, and then with a wrap. And again, a wrap, you're always going to use a wrap as well. If that doesn't work, or if your baby's a bit older when you start, then you can always use the pre-fold as an insert, say for a pocket nappy or to boost a fitted nappy at night. And it's probably the most cost-effective way of cloth napping your baby using pre-folds and covers. So I always think, as a honest advice, that's what I would say to anyone. You know, don't spend a lot of money straight away. Just try that, and if you like that, then there's ways of moving onwards and upwards from that, and trial and test it. Now, I also started nappy newborn rental kit, and that's just to bridge the gap between a newborn baby and the birth to potty nappies, which then you might love. But if you started with those on day one, you would find it probably leak because your baby's legs are not chunky enough for a birth to potty, or their stomachs are still tiny, their waists are still tiny, so you wouldn't get the most out of them. So definitely get advice, and if you want to ask people what their favourite brand is and you want to have a list of brands, then do that. It is great that you're asking questions. It is brilliant that you want to get into cloth nappies. But the answer to the question, what is the best nappy out there, is an individual answer. And this is what I will keep on repeating until it gets imprinted into people's minds. And I appreciate it may be really hard to visit a nappy library. I appreciate it is a little bit tough to start with just getting the rental arranged, but you will not regret it. If you go on and spend £100, £200 or even more on a huge stash, on a huge kit, maybe just one type of nappy, you may love it and then you've hit the bingo and the jackpot altogether, great. But what if it doesn't work? What are you going to do? Then you're going to have to sell it off, and you may probably lose money, not a lot, because second-hand nappies, they go for quite good money on the secondary market, but why go through all of that fast and then you may get just fed up and give up cloth nappies? I want people to get into cloth nappies and they stay into that world until the baby potty trains. That is the best thing to do. So start slowly. Obviously research, and the best nappy is the one that will fit to your baby and your needs at the time. So that's it. That's it from me. This is an answer to a very popular question that comes up every day in forums. I hope this video has been helpful to you, and don't hesitate to contact me, info@nappylove.co.uk, and to book a free 50 minutes consultations. I advise on Skype so I can see your baby and I can get that feedback straight away, and I can see what works for your baby's little body straight away. And I can advise you on the best type of nappy. Without that knowledge on my side, then I've got to rely obviously on what you relate to me onto email. So info@nappylove.co.uk, book your free 15 minutes consultations, even on Skype or on FaceTime, or even on email if you're really camera shy, and I'll try and help you out. Okay, bye.